Hello, friends. Jeff here. Just wanted to take a moment to pop on and tell everybody about my new computer. I actually upgraded to an iMac. Apple iMac. I've never ever had one of these before. In fact, the only Apple products I've ever owned have been two different iPods. And that was quite some time ago. I think my first one was an iPod Nano fourth generation, which was like 10, 11 years ago. My second iPod was an iPod Touch around 2008, 2009, something like that. They were okay. I liked them and everything, but they weren't the best. At least not for me. For some reason I've always shied away from Apple products. I've had some issues with iTunes in the past and that sort of thing. That being said, I found a good deal on an iMac, and I really needed an upgraded computer. My other two computers, both of them are, I want to say, 7 or 8 years old. And I recently upgraded the both of them to Windows 10. Windows 10 is great and all, but the computers have a little bit of trouble running it and other things. And the biggest reason I really wanted to upgrade my computer, and the reason I chose Apple, was for not only because they're fast processor and all that stuff. That's something I really needed, but just the intuitive software. They have iMovie, GarageBand. Those are two programs that were really interesting to me. And I've been messing with them now in the 5 days I've had the computer, and it's real nice. It's really, really nice. I find iMovie to be so much better than Windows Live Movie Maker, and I do have a Sony Movie Maker product that I use with my Windows computer, and it's really good too. I like the interface, and it works well. It's easy to figure out and use, but my computer just wasn't handling it. Unfortunately, that software does not work with my iMac. It's a Windows only product, but that's okay. It was cheap anyway. But as for this computer, I'm very impressed. I won't lie. Now the learning curve is a little bit tough. There are a lot of things I've had to figure out, and a lot of things I have yet to figure out with it. But the basics are the same. I mean, you have Windows. You can close and open the windows. You have the Finder, which is basically like Windows Explorer, where you find all your files and such. Plug and play isn't quite as good. My external hard drive works great with no trouble, but my phone does not. I've plugged both of my wife's phone and my phone into this thing, and neither one of them picks it up. You can't use it as a drive or anything. So I actually had to download all my photos and camera and all that stuff from the phone to my Windows computer, onto a USB stick, and then down here to this computer. But that's just kind of a minor gripe, and I'm sure there's an app or a program for the Mac that I can download for free that'll alleviate me of that. But that being said, the computer itself I'm very impressed with. This thing is built tough. Solid aluminum casing, has a built-in microphone and speakers, which is really cool. Sounds pretty good. It doesn't sound as good as my nice speaker set. I've got my stereo speakers with a subwoofer, but just for working here by myself, and usually I'm using headphones anyway with this system, so that kind of negates that. The keyboard and the mouse, though, really surprised me, to be honest with you. Now, first with the mouse, I will say this: it feels good in my hand. Um, but it also has kind of a chintzy feeling to it. It's really, really light. It's just like a light plastic. I do like the scroll ball on it. It's a ball as opposed to a scroll wheel like my gaming mouse is, and it scrolls all directions, up, down, left, right. It has all the directions. It's really cool, and it's nice for navigating a window, especially like my web browser or that sort of thing. But in terms of the feel of it, like I said, it's a little light and it feels chintzy. The keyboard, on the other hand, is incredible. I love this thing. It is way better than I ever thought it would be. First and foremost, it's also made of solid aluminum on the top, and then like a hard plastic on the bottom, but it's very tough, you can tell. Also has two USB ports. One I have running the mouse, the other is open at the moment. One thing I will say about the USB port, it doesn't seem to transfer data really. I tried plugging my hard drive through this USB on the keyboard, and it didn't work. But it did provide power. So for powering up something like a phone or something of that sort, I think it would work great. My camera also does not work through it. I tried it, nor does my CD drive for this thing. But as far as the keyboard goes, the feel is amazing. It is the best feeling keyboard in terms of just typing that I've ever had. Even better than my mechanical keyed gaming computer, my Logitech gaming keyboard. This thing's amazing. I can't understand why I like it so much. It has taken a little bit of getting used to because it is an Apple keyboard. It has a command button as well as control and whatnot, and the option button has a bunch of different functions that I'm not used to. But it does have the nice setup through the function keys, the F keys, controlling volume, mute, all that stuff. Yeah, my gaming keyboard has the same, but it's more intuitive, and that's something I got to hand to Apple. They did a really nice job with these computers, with this OS, to make it, I shouldn't say easy to use, but to feel natural. It feels cleaner than Windows, and I really like it. I'm very impressed with it, and I've been bashing Apple for years, and I got to hand it to them on this one. They did a nice job with these newer Macs. So as far as specs go, and we're gonna try to keep this video short, so I don't want to go too crazy, but this one in particular does have 8 gigs of RAM, which I would have preferred more, but it is what it is. 8 gigs is still, it's twice as much as what's in my computer upstairs. It's 8 times as much what's in that laptop over there. Also, a 2.8 gigahertz quad core processor, really nice, and a 1 terabyte Fusion drive. So it's really cool, nice big hard drive. I can take all of my stuff and load it onto this computer and still have way more room than I'd ever need. I'm happy about that. That's really nice. It'll be nice to be able to back up everything else to this computer, and that way I have copies of all my music and movies and all that good stuff. So if you are an Apple person, if you own an iMac or a MacBook or anything and you've dealt with OS 10, please give me a holler. Shoot me a comment. Give me a like on the video. I would like to hear from you. I've been doing some reading some websites. I did purchase and download the ebook for Mac for Dummies. I couldn't help it. I love the Dummies series of books. Check them out. They're really good. They do not sponsor me, by the way. But maybe they should. But yeah, that would be cool if you have any comments, tips, tricks, anything like that, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. I'm still learning on this system, and there is a ton that I have not learned yet, and there are still a lot of quirks that I haven't worked out. So, yeah, please help me out. As for me and my channel, thank you for watching. You can check out my podcast here on this YouTube channel, The Jeff Finch Experiment. You can also type that in on Podbean, Google Play, or iTunes, and you'll find it there. Listen to it. It's pretty good. It's fun, and we have a great time just chatting about everything from politics to movies to books to, nerd culture to, fatherhood to all kinds of cool stuff. So please, give me a like. We'll see you next time. Thanks.